Tom Davis together with BaltimoreBaseball.com's Dan Connolly. And Dan, Yefry Ramirez. Let's go over the name factor. It doesn't look like Jeffrey first off when you see it.
No, it is spelled R-E-F-R-Y Ramirez. Yefry Ramirez is the first Yefry to ever play in the major leagues. There are 4 that have played in the minor leagues, one whose middle name was Yefry, but he will be the first Yefry to ever play in the majors, and he gets to go against Xander Bogaerts, Xander, the only Xander to ever play in the major leagues. So we got some history going on here, Tom.
Little tidbits, but it said Jeffrey instead of Yefry.
It said Jeffrey.
Now, let's talk a little bit about his path to the majors.
Okay.
What do you think?
Well, I mean, he's an interesting guy. He had a 4.33 ERA in AAA Norfolk. And honestly, you know, he's a big guy, 6'2", 215 pounds. He was a position player, a third baseman, first baseman with the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2011 in the Dominican. And basically, the Yankees took him. First, he became a pitcher for the Diamondbacks, and the Yankees took him to Rule 5 as a Rule 5 pick in the minor league phase. And he did really well. Then the Orioles traded the international slot bonuses to the Yankees in 2017, got him, and he had won 15 games in Double-A in Trenton and in Bowie last year. So he's a winner, and he's got a 92, 93-mile-an-hour fastball and a 82, 83 changeup, which is his best pitch. So we'll see.
Earned his way to the big leagues, Yefry Ramirez. Now let's talk a little bit about pace of play. Buck Showalter talked about it today at his press conference about how slow last night's game was.
A 9-inning game, 3 hours and 58 minutes, and that's ridiculous. And, you know, pace of play has been a big thing this year, big thing for Buck. And, you know, he had basically the Orioles are you know, in the middle of the pack, if you will. But the Red Sox, 3 hours and 8 minutes, longest pace of play game for any team. Right now, it was 3 hours so far this year, 3 hours and 5 minutes last year. So they've cut a little bit off of it, but it's still, you know, it's still long. And one of the problems too is last night there were 87 plate appearances. There were 16 walks, 15 strikeouts, and a hit by pitch. So 32 of the 87 were, you know, balls not put in play. So that's going to slow things down. Lots of pitch counts and that kind of stuff. So, I mean, it's slow.
And that's what baseball's worried about now. 1/3 of the time,
Right.
There's a strikeout or a home run or more.
Right, and that's terrible, and that's something that has to be fixed, and hopefully, you know, they're working toward this. You know, they also had the situation where they had, you know, Buck has talked about it, you know, trying to get the 25-second clock for the pitchers, but they've eliminated that. They decided not to do that, and he said that's not really a problem. The problem, like you said, is the fact that, you know, guys aren't swinging at pitches, and there's been a lot of balls, and that kind of continues.
Let's talk a little bit about Andrew Cashner. He's on the disabled list. That's one of the reasons why Yefry Ramirez is starting today. What's the latest on Andrew Cashner?
Well, he had an MRI of his lower back today, and the thought is that he's going to be okay. He'll miss one start and hopefully be able to pitch Tuesday in Washington next week, so he'll only miss one start. But they're still waiting on results of that MRI, and so we're going to hear what happens. But Buck is fairly confident that he'll only miss one start.
They wanted to see the end of that MRI today, right? I mean, in other words, delay any further action, right?
Right. They weren't really sure exactly what. I mean, they talked to Brian Ebel, and they basically feel that it's going to be okay, but they want to see the information on it before they make a decision on how long he's going to be out. But hopefully it's just going to be 10 days.
Well, for the latest on Orioles baseball news, check out BaltimoreBaseball.com with Dan Connolly. He's always got the latest.